Right, last time I had a crazy teaching from the Lord that I want to tell you during this video. How small sins and imperfections can still put you at risk of going to hell or giving you spiritual blindness. The other day I had a dream. I was outside with a few people and we were playing with animals, and there was this giant black duck roaming outside. There were a few of them, and it reminded me of an animal I saw when I was in Japan. In Tokyo, there was this huge crow that I saw, the biggest crow I ever saw in my life. It looked like a dinosaur. It was so big. This animal in Japan can be really, really big. People, they were walking around with their child, not worrying, because this thing can literally rip off your eye in a blink. So I was in this dream with a few people and we're playing around with those animals. So I came close to one of the crows and I realized this thing had a really strange appearance. It had a double appearance. At the same time, it looked like a large crow, but at the same time, it also looked like a black duck. It looked dangerous, and at the same time, it looked cute. And I was like hesitating to actually pet this thing because it looks really dangerous but also cute at the same time. It had this dual appearance. I don't have words for this. It was like quickly changing appearance, and at the same time it had two appearances at the same time. I was hesitating to play with this thing, and at some point I just get the thing on my shoulder and I was like, okay, it's in the end it's kind of cute, you know. I kind of like having this thing on my shoulder. It's cute, it's my friend now. And there were some other people doing the same thing as me, playing around with those crows. And at some point I said to myself, okay, this is time to go home. And I tried to get rid of this crow and I kind of struggle. I tried to put some water, to sprinkle some water, and this thing wouldn't go away. It wouldn't go away so easily. I had to struggle a little bit to get rid of that. And then I wake up from that dream and I think to myself, okay, this is just a stupid dream. I get myself on my knees and I get ready for prayer. And before I start praying, I had a really strong thought. You need to ask God what this dream means. And I thought to myself, yeah, this is ridiculous. I mean, this is just a stupid dream. There's no particular meaning. But okay, I'm gonna pray. And I didn't know where this thought came from. I prayed to God, and literally the minute after, I started downloading the knowledge from the heavens. And this crow duck was actually my imperfections, my small sins. The spiritual meaning behind this is that small sins and imperfections, it's hard to discern sometimes if it's really a sin. Very often some people, they will embrace it. Just like me, sometimes I would do silly jokes. It's not sinful, but at the same time, I don't know if I can do that. If I'm in heaven, if I'm facing God, can I do this kind of stupid jokes? I'm not sure. So this is what I call the imperfections or small sins. Most of the time it won't do anything, but sometimes as this thing gets angry, it can pluck off your eye. Just like this crow on my shoulder, it definitely had the power to pluck off my own eye. And the meaning of that is the potential of losing your spiritual awareness. It looks cute on the outside. You kind of know it looks cute, but at the same time it looks dangerous, but you still play with it. And even though it doesn't do anything most of the time, there's still a risk that you go blind spiritually. And there is a risk that you go down the slope and you start accumulating sin and end up in your way to hell in the end. And it blew my mind, and at the same time I was not very pleased because I really like to do, you know, those Donald Trump.
We love this guy.
We love this guy.
We love the people.
First of all, excuse me. I've actually been to Palo Alto. Excuse
Palo
me.
Alto.
Palo Alto.
Nobody loves.
Excuse me.
Excuse me.
You know, I kind of like the taste of doing silly jokes and silly remarks, and I never knew if it was a sin or not, but now I know that I shouldn't be doing that because I'm taking a risk. Maybe in itself it's not dangerous, but over time, with accumulation, maybe I'm taking a risk, you know. Maybe at some point my eye will get plucked off by my imperfections, by that crow. It looks cute, you think it's inoffensive, but it can destroy you. So this is the message I want to bring to you guys today. Don't mess around. Even if you think you're sinless or something, you don't do mortal sin, you don't break the 10 Commandments, You're still putting yourself at risk if you do small sins or imperfections. You have to be careful. And if you go to heaven one day, if you're facing the presence of God, those things, they don't have any place really. So it makes sense that a Christian should get rid of those. I know it's not really pleasing. I know this is asking for next level holiness, but this is what we're expecting to deliver. I wasn't really pleased with that teaching, but you know, when Jesus speaks, it's like in the book of Apocalypse. It's like a sword. It pierces you to the core. You know it's true, but it doesn't please you at the same time. But you need to accept it. You need to overcome that little pain. This is the key to progress. Accepting the truth is not easy sometimes. Alright, I hope that makes sense. I'll catch you in the next one.